Want to speak real Swedish from your first lesson? Sign up for your free lifetime account at swedishpod101.com.
In this lesson, we're going to learn how to use ursäkta mig, in other words, when apologizing in Swedish. We use ursäkta mig in formal situations, such as when we are ordering something in bars or restaurants. For example, ursäkta mig, en kaffe tack. Excuse me, a coffee please. We can also use it when asking a question. Ursäkta mig, var är toaletten? Excuse me, where is the toilet? The common way to say excuse me is ursäkta mig. Ursäkta mig. Just like ursäkta mig, we can use förlåt when apologizing for an action. Förlåt means I'm sorry. Förlåt. You can also hear some Swedes say sorry, which is a loan word from English, and it's often used as a quick apology amongst friends. Both of these phrases can be used for either excuse me or I'm sorry. But if you really want to apologize for something, it might be better to use the word förlåt. The phrase förlåt, jag är jätteledsen för det means I'm really sorry about that. This can be used in both formal and informal situations. Förlåt, jag är jätteledsen för det. First we have the familiar förlåt. Next we insert a Swedish pronoun for I, jag. Then är, which means am. Followed by ledsen, which means sad. Again, you can see the use of the word jätte in front of an adjective, just like in lesson 2. Finally, we have the phrase för det, meaning about that. Förlåt, jag är jätteledsen för det. Now it's time for Elin's insights. In Sweden, if you accidentally bump into someone, you might not get any response. But to be polite, we either say ursäkta mig or förlåt. You can also use these phrases when you want to say, sorry, can you repeat what you just said?
Do you know how to say thank you in Swedish? In this lesson, you'll learn 3 different ways to say it. Let's start with the easiest one.
Tack. Tack.
Another way to say thank you is
Tack så mycket. Tack så mycket.
Finally, here's a third way to express your gratitude.
Tackar. Tackar.
Okay, let's wrap up this lesson by recapping what we've learned.
Tack. Tack. Tack så mycket. Tack så mycket. Tackar. Tackar.
Well done! You just learned 3 different ways to say thank you in Swedish.
Want to speak real Swedish from your first lesson? Sign up for your free lifetime account at swedishpod101.com.
Do you know how to say, I love you in Swedish? In this lesson, you'll learn 3 different ways to say it. Let's start with how to express your feelings to your loved one.
Jag älskar dig. Jag älskar dig. Jag älskar dig.
Or if you want to explain those butterflies in your stomach, you can say,
Jag är förtjust i dig. Jag är förtjust i dig. Jag är förtjust i dig.
And when you feel that I love you is not enough, you can say,
Ord kan inte beskriva min kärlek till dig. Ord kan inte beskriva min kärlek till dig. Ord kan inte beskriva min kärlek till dig.
you just learned 3 different ways to say, I love you in Swedish.
In this lesson, we learned some of the most common greetings used in Sweden. Är ni redo? Are you ready? Så låt oss börja. So let's start. The most commonly used informal greeting is hej. Hej. Hej means hi. We use it when we meet people. We can use this greeting with anyone. Yet, it isn't the only way to greet someone. We also have hallå. Hallå, which means hello. And more time-specific greetings like god dag. God dag. Literally, god dag means good day. As a rule of thumb, we can use god dag only during the daytime, from morning until evening. During the evening, we say god kväll. God kväll. Kväll is Swedish for evening. So god kväll means good evening. Finally, in the morning, we say god morgon. God morgon. This means good morning. However, instead of god dag and god kväll, it's much more common to just use hej. God morgon, on the other hand, is still the most common phrase to use in the morning. When saying goodbye, we say hej då. Hej då. When partying for a long time, we often add ha det bra. Ha det bra, which means be well. Finally, in Swedish, we have an expression meaning see you soon that can be considered both formal and informal. Vi ses. Vi ses. Now you can greet people in many different ways in Swedish. Let's review them all again. When meeting friends or someone we don't know, hej. There also is hallå. In the morning, god morgon. During the day, god dag. And in the evening, god kväll. When leaving, we say hej då. When leaving but want to imply see you soon, vi ses. To which we sometimes add ha det bra or be well. It's easy, isn't it? Now it's time for Elin's insights. In formal situations, Swedish people commonly greet each other by shaking hands. However, if we meet someone we are very friendly with, we hug. Swedish people are generally shy and might not take the initiative to hug, but don't be afraid to do it. It's always appreciated.
If you want to learn a language but don't have a lot of time to dedicate to the endeavor, you need to study as efficiently as possible. You probably aren't a language learning expert or a world traveler. You might have school or a job or 2. So in this video, we'll give you 3 ways to help you learn language more efficiently so that you get the most out of your time and effort. Number 1, use your time when you have it. The most valuable resource you have as a language learner is time. While you may not have to spend money to learn a language, you will have to spend time. Hours and minutes are a currency that you trade on a weekly basis to grow in your language learning. Language learning is probably a priority for you. It might not be the number 1 priority, like keeping your job or taking care of your family, but it does have to be important enough for you to invest significant amounts of time into your learning. There's just no way around it. That being said, use your time wisely. Because of previous commitments, you can quickly fall into the trap of putting your language learning off, thinking, oh, I'll do it next week, or Saturday, I'll do it Saturday. Needless to say, a few weeks can go by and you haven't really learned or practiced anything. If you find that happening, then take some time and reevaluate your approach. It's probably a long shot for you to be able to spend hours every day learning a new foreign language, but you can use your time to spend an hour or even just 10 minutes a day, every day, studying or practicing. If you're on a busy schedule, an hour a day can sound like reaching for the stars, so start slowly with just a 5-minute lesson. Over time, as you learn more and it becomes more routine, you'll want to spend more time studying. And your studying doesn't even need to be all at once. Make use of the little gaps of time you have in the day. Listen to a podcast while driving to and from work. Review new words while on lunch break or right before bed. Even a quick review while in line at the store or waiting for the bus. Together, these moments add up. This way, your little study session will add up to around 60 minutes of practice every day. You'll quickly be able to see significant improvement in your language abilities. Number 2, don't method jump. When you're new to language learning, there's a temptation to try out the newest course, app, or method. There are more language learning tools and courses than I can list. But jumping around from podcast to podcast or from textbook to textbook can really hinder your learning process. It's important to find the best method for you, but when you do, stick with it. Don't get distracted by the newest app, or if you suddenly find something faster, cheaper, claiming it can teach you a language with no work on your part. Stick with your learning course or tool. Consistent practice over a period of time is what is essential for language learning. If you hit a bump or plateau, you might be tempted to think, maybe there's a faster or better way to learn. So you search around and buy the next best language learning tool, only to use it for a couple weeks and realize it wasn't really any better than the last course you tried, and the same difficulties you had are still there. If you're learning your first new language and you pick a specific method or course, we suggest you stick with it for at least 3 to 4 months. You actually hurt yourself in the long run if you constantly switch between resources because you never give yourself the opportunity to progress. Number 3, focus on one thing at a time. When you decide to learn a new language, you're going to be really excited. You have all your resources lined up, a plan in place, and you're ready to go. You think you'll spend 3 to 4 hours a day practicing and that you'll be fluent in no time, but that's only for about 3 days. Then you probably will get a little bit discouraged and avoid it for another 3 days. And this process might repeat 3 or 4 times before you realize that you might be approaching things the wrong way. You can't devour a whole new language in a very short time. You'll burn out immediately. It's better to focus on one small part of the language at a time, either a specific grammar point or a specific vocabulary topic. In the beginning, these should be based on the parts of the language you'll use right away. Even in the business world, research shows that replacing less important tasks with ones that add value and help you reach your goals is the best way to get the most out of your time. As you advance through the language and your level increases, try to pinpoint the harder aspects of the language and work on them one at a time. Learning a foreign language isn't easy. It takes time and work, but it is possible. If you stick to your learning plans and stay focused, you will see improvement in your skills and find satisfaction in using the language. Remember that learning a language is really more like a journey. It doesn't have to feel like school or work. Savor your experience with learning and enjoy every step along the way. And for even more tips on learning efficiently, check out our complete language learning program. Sign up for your free lifetime account by clicking on the link in the description. Get tons of resources to have you speaking in your target language. And if you enjoyed these tips, hit the like button, share the video with anyone who's trying to learn a new language, and subscribe to our channel. We release new videos every week. I'll see you next time. Bye! Great work! Here's a reward. Speed up your language learning with our PDF lessons. Get all of our best PDF cheat sheets and ebooks for free. Just click the link in the description.